Hey there ARK players, and welcome back to a brand new video. Now today we are going to be going through the brand new update which is going live today for ARK Survival Evolved, and as I let you guys know, the Lumina is going to be awakening today, arriving July 9th for ARK Dragontopia. But it's not all about the dragon today, it's about the important stuff that is going to be fixed within today's update, and there is a bunch of stuff in the patch notes. Wildcard have given us the patch notes early and the time that the update is going to be dropping. So if you guys do enjoy today's video, feel free to drop a like and subscribe, it really supports me, and we're going to get straight into the patch notes now. Of course, if you want to come and join us over in the LoadedCrysis cluster, that would be absolutely amazing. The link to our Discord is down below, and we've got obviously all the servers ready for you guys to come and have some fun for launch day today. Come and join us. The link's in the description down below. And as a little bit of a surprise, we are also going to be giving away even more Dragontopia keys than we've done already. So yeah, watch out for that. Anyway, so today's major version update is scheduled to deploy at approximately 2 PM Pacific, bringing a new wave of post-Genesis launch fixes, thankfully, because there is definitely still a lot that needs to be sorted out, alongside of the arrival of Dragontopia's newest tameable dragon. The light meets the shadow meets its light. The Lumina awakens in Dragontopia, taking flight as the Umbra's radiant counterpart and bringing a brilliant new force to the skies. With celestial power at her command and a bond that burns brightest beside her shadowed kin, Lumina adds a new layer of speed, strategy and spectacle to the battle above the clouds. The full patch notes are available below, covering gameplay fixes, stability improvements, bug fixes, and post-launch adjustments following the release of Genesis Ascended Part 1 and ARK Tides of Fortune. So, yes, we have got a lot of patch notes to go through, and there are some very big ones as well. Lots of changes, and you're not going to want to miss this, so let's get in with it. So what's new with this update? DLC, Dragontopia Day 1 content, new tameable dragon, the Lumina, the shadow meets the light, and the Lumina awakes in Dragontopia. Now we have some fixes for Dragontopia for the Umbra. So fix several cases on the Umbra's dragon horn, which is good because, to be honest, it's been really buggy for me. I'm going to be honest, but that was probably because I was spawning them in. When you spawn them in, they're just so buggy. Fix cases where Umbra's AI struggled to hit its target. Fix an issue that caused Umbra to use abilities when using the spyglass / tech binoculars while mounted. Fix several gamepad issues with the Umbra. Fix several gamepad sprint control, fix the actual Umbra's gamepad sprint control on the HUD. Fix Umbra appearing too low when displayed in a display case. Fix deep diver milestone not progressing with Umbra. Fix mind wipe not refunding dragon skill points invested. And fix tracked Dragontopia milestones all disappearing after completing one of them. Now we're moving on to the general fixes. Now when I tell you there's a lot, there is a lot, and this was very, very needed, because there were even some stuff that, I'm going to be honest with you guys, there was stuff that still were issues from Genesis Part 1 6 years ago on Survival Evolved. So fix inability to craft cryopods / cryofridges in Genesis mission terminals. Fix creatures getting stuck in cryopods after starting the gauntlet missions. Fix rain on the Genesis ocean biome not refilling water stat or containers. Fix an issue that could sometimes cause foliage interaction not to work correctly on Genesis. Fix inaccuracies of player location on the Genesis map. Fix an issue on exports where audio could be lost. There we go, that's great. I get that reported a lot on the cluster. Fix entitlement issue with paid cosmetics. Fix some missing mission icons in the mission UI. Adjusted various Genesis outpost mission text. Fixed issues with the HNNA ocean teleports, northeast, west teleport into the same island. Thankfully, that's been fixed because I noticed that literally on day 1 of the launch. Fix some localization issues with the HNNA reactions. Added some missing HNNA sound cues. Adjusted some of Tides of Fortune skill descriptions to be clearer. Adjusted scatter limits on dreadlocks hairstyle to make dye colors truer on dark hair. Increased the hand cannon's damage by 300%. How nerfed was this? Even though, well, I guess nerfed is the wrong word because it's never been in the game, but how bad was it to be increased by 300%? That is crazy. Fixed hand cannon having no water interaction when hitting a water surface. Adjusted grape shot ammo crafting requirements to be more reasonable. Fixed corrosive ship cannonball not having an icon / name / description. Improved bounty boards map specific creature whitelisting / blacklisting. Fixed treasure map bottles being lumped with generic loot when using the treasure hunter skill. Prevented biogrinder from working on mission creatures. Prevented wisp of industry skill being activated while seated. Fixed not being able to equip the shovel when owning Tides of Fortune. Added the tech bunker to the tech replicator's inventory. The turtle shell can now be grinded for chitin. Fix Astrocetus not force landing when flying above the Lost King's city in Lost Colony. So now we've got some changes to some of the creatures, the Paleo Octopus being the first one. They've improved the Paleo Octopus attacks on low performing servers, increased melee swing radius on Paleo Octopus swipe attacks, and fixed an issue where Paleo Octopus would have a weird targeting after being unclaimed. Now for the Bloodstalker, fixed Bloodstalker not being clonable, fixed issue where Bloodstalker would correct its climbing location due to the climbing location being stuck inside the terrain. Adjusted the gamepad controls for Bloodstalker submerge from LB to LB and L3 to LB and RT. More comfortable control to press and no longer toggles voice as it did in ASE. Tide Pup. Fixed Tide Pup not retaining XP once evolving. Fixed missing ready to evolve VFX on Tide Pup if it was activated on your shoulder in first person view. And fixed shoulder mounted dino HUD elements overlapping with shoulder mounted Tide Pup. So that's the creatures done pretty much. Genesis untameable ocean dino spawners will now not spawn close to shores or in playable underwater areas. It's about time. That was terrible. Like I basically have this one base that I'm staying at the moment, and literally as soon as I left, I saw the most craziest creatures right in the starting spawn, which is just crazy. Untameable wild creatures are now named feral instead of wild on their floating name. Definitely needed, so obviously people understand the difference. Fix enemies sometimes spawning, clipping the mesh during the final test boss. Some changes to the hover skiff. So fix hover skiff's ramp having no damage overlay. Fix hover skiff damage overlaying not displaying correctly. Fix being unable to build on hover skiff sometimes, and fixed hover skiff not having a destructible mesh when destroyed. Fix the ammo box looking filled visually in some languages. Fix the hammock skin being automatically awarded on Tides of Fortune ownership. Fix an issue with orbit cam rotation when tapping on the aquarium structure, and revise settings for the aquarium SFX. Always get it the wrong way round. Skill tree menu hotbar highlight will now appear in the appropriate color for that skill tree when dragging an active skill. Fixed issues where Lost Colony activatable skills would cause ghost items to fill the player's inventory. Fix several exploits and fix several crashes. Now we come to ships, which is very important because obviously it's one of the biggest changes within the Tides of Fortune DLC. So improved and optimized ship physics, improved ships, I can never say it. But I have in my other videos. I'm gonna skip that for now, and we'll come back to it, and you guys can correct me in the comment section. But it's literally been a word that I'd struggled on for like years, and then I started getting it right, and now I'm just getting it wrong again. Reduce sloop's max speed and steering force by approximately 10%. Fix shipyard not correctly checking for obstruction when placing. Fix an issue that could cause a docked ship to be destroyed too easily from the shipyard. fixed an issue with the shipyard where ships could teleport to previous dock teleport location when launching, fixed custom key bindings preventing ship functionality, fixed Steam gamepad controls not working with custom KBM key bindings, fixed ship skill smoke screen not working against outpost NPC pirate ships, fixed NPC pirate ships inventory being accessible, fixed an issue that caused newly crafted ships to not auto-collect floating cargo, fixed ships crafted at the shipyard anchored visually and don't unanchor after moving on single player, fixed desync that could occur while piloting a ship, fixed a rare issue that caused structures to appear invisible on ships, fixed an issue that could prevent snapping structures on top of each other other than on a ship, fixed damage overlay not displaying on the ship's deck correctly, fixed an issue that could cause the ship's steering wheel to take damage, fixed inability to use soap on ships, fixed the location near the ladder of ships that could cause you to control the cannons instead of using the ladder, fixed various vacuum compartment incorrect snapping logic, fixed water post-process not being removed when entering a vacuum compartment placed in the Genesis Ocean biome, fixed a jitter that would happen when a player observed a character with armor on an anchored or docked ship, fixed ships ladder cover not being destroyed when ships go out of replication range, fixed other tribes being able to steal outpost mission loot on PvE, players can now fire the cannons while in first person view on the ship wheel for a more immersive experience. Repair resources required are now displayed on the shipyard's repair option. The cannon selection pulse has been disabled and the glow indicating selected cannons on ships is now static. Fixed combat music during ship combat not advancing sometimes. Removed vehicle HUD tooltip from ships. Raised the brigantine structure limit to 200 and raised the sloop structure limit to 75. So, from what I've seen, that is pretty much the full update. They have actually gone on here to go into some further post-launch live ops updates, which we can read through. So, alongside today's major version update and the Lumina's arrival, we also wanted to share an update on character restoration following the recent official network rollback. Since the rollback, the team has been manually restoring impacted characters. At approximately 20% of the reported characters have already been restored through that process. Alongside that work, we've also been improving the restoration pipeline itself so the remaining impacted characters can be handled more quickly at a much larger scale. Unfortunately, we had a breakthrough. We are now successfully able to systematically identify lost characters reported through our form and program restore them into the game. This significantly eliminates the amount of time a single restoration would take and also lays the groundwork for this process to become an automated please in the future. I mean, we need this over on the LoadedCrysis cluster. The amount of characters we've restored ourselves and just created is just crazy. We want to be able to have a feature that we can literally just use to bring someone's character back if it gets lost within a rollback. With these improvements, we expect to have 95% of the impacted characters restored by the end of the day, with the remaining complex cases which require manual investigation to be restored by the end of the weekend. We know this has been a frustrating situation for players who have been waiting to get their characters back, and we appreciate everyone's patience, and you can obviously get involved there. I mean, it's brilliant, you know, that they're working on getting this sorted, right? Because this is something that, to be honest, they really need to get this sorted. Because you know, they said today's update also includes a range of fixes across gameplay systems, bugs and stability, with more post-launch improvements already in progress. We'll continue monitoring the live environment closely and working through your valuable reports and releasing follow-up patches as we move out of the launch period. So it's great to see that Studio Wildcard are working on this. There's still a lot more to go with official servers need more servers, and I know the reason they've probably been holding those back is because they've been worried about the state of the game at this moment in time. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, guys. If you enjoyed, drop a like, subscribe, come and join us in the LoadedCrysis cluster, and yeah, I'll catch you in the next one.